Hello, friends. Flames Nation Live is coming at you on this Wednesday. Steinberg with you from our Sportsnet 960 downtown studios. Just wrapped up the afternoon, wrapped up doing a little Flames talk. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your Wednesday is going well. If you're watching, listening, whatever you might be, thanks for being with us right now as well. We have got, who do we got with us? Ian with us, Jeff's with us, Ryan's with us, JF's with us, Kyle with us as well. JF, ça va très bien. Tite bien. Hopefully you're doing nicely in Quebec. Hopefully wherever you are watching or listening from, you're doing well. Okay, what do we got to talk about today? Lots to talk about. Tons of time for your questions. Ryan's in, Dallas is in, so get your questions, get your thoughts in right now. John's in on the live chat. We've got lots of time to discuss stuff there, and we will get to all of your questions, or as many as we can, as we tell you that Flames Nation Live is brought to you by DoorDash. The promo continues. It's been going on for ages, and it will continue on in perpetuity. Go download the DoorDash app, create your account, and then on your first order, use the promo code FNLiveDD. Once again, FNLiveDD. By doing that, you're going to get 25% off your first order, and you're also going to get free delivery. That's all thanks to our friends at DoorDash who bring you Flames Nation Live. Now, do I think the Calgary Flames are done this summer? Do I think the Calgary Flames are done adding? No, I think there are other things that could still happen. I take a look at that $2.5 million of cap space the Calgary Flames have on the books right now, and I could see a number of different possibilities. Obviously, Paul Stastny is no longer one of those possibilities as he signed this week in Carolina. But what about that guy on your screen? Earlier this week over at Flames Nation, Mike Gould wrote about how Phil Kessel's a really strong target. I don't disagree. I think that he'd be a really nice target for the Flames. And I think there's lots to suggest that, they could make that work if Phil had any desire to come to Calgary. The other guy that I really like in terms of a potential free agent target is Evan Rodriguez, who had a great year, a career year with the Pittsburgh Penguins last year. Now, different players. Rodriguez is more of that fits anywhere utility piece. I think he's the type of guy that can play further up the lineup and do well with good players, but also if you put him in a bottom six responsible shutdown role, I think he can do some really good work as well. Rodriguez is my number one target just from a straight up hockey perspective. I think he'd be a great fit. As for Phil Kessel, I think it'd be fun. I think the guy can still play, and I think that he would help this team's power play, and I think he would help this team create some offense. Just a little bit less versatile, I think, at this stage in his career compared to Rodriguez, but Kessel still put up 50-plus points last year on a god-awful Arizona team, so not completely crazy. So those are two of the names that I've got on my radar. When it comes to who the Flames might sign or could sign. What do we got here on the live chat? Let's jump in. Jeffrey asking about one of those guys. Is there any chance the Flames add Rodriguez? Yes, I think there's a chance. And I could absolutely see them having interest in him. And this says, or is a Valimaki trade for a winger more likely? The thing with Yuso is, I don't think a trade's out of the question. In fact, I think there's lots to suggest that a Yuso trade would make sense. The problem is that I don't think at this point Yuso's value is all that high, so I don't know if you're going to be able to get a significant asset for him, a top six winger for him at this point, because you are selling low on Yuso, and that's maybe why they haven't gone down that road to this point. I'm really curious to see what Valimaki does in training camp, and he's had a full season now under Daryl Sutter, and it hasn't gone so well with Yuso and Daryl to this point, but knows a little bit more what to expect. He's worked all summer. From what I understand, he's had a really, really positive summer. So I am curious to see what Yuso does in training camp. Do I think a trade at some point could make sense even for change of scenery reasons? Absolutely, I could see that. I just don't think at this stage of the game, bringing back kind of a capable middle six winger is the way that it's going to work out. Ryan says Hannafin for Nylander is all over Twitter. I have seen that rumor out there on Twitter. I don't know. I mean, it would be very much in line with the summer of Brad, wouldn't it? I mean, the Flames have got a ton of defensemen that are on one-way contracts or NHL deals. Nothing would shock me at this point. I don't remember who I saw post it. It was posted from another, like it was somebody posting from another account, and I only saw it briefly. And this is not a knock on anybody, but I typically only dive in fully when it comes to some of the accounts that I have notifications on for, like our guy Saravelli, or like Sportsnet's Friedman, or like Drager and McKenzie. And that's not a knock on anybody else. I'm not saying they're wrong, and I could absolutely see how something like that could make sense. But I have seen it, and it'd be super interesting if it happened. I'll say that much. And if it was, then I would give a round of applause to that person. Dallas says, hope they sign Milano and Rodriguez while trading Valimaki and Rooney. Well, I don't think they're going to trade Rooney. They just signed him. Milano's interesting. I don't think, at least as it stands right now, I think you're looking at one additional forward if they were to go down the free agent route. They've got about $2.5 million of cap space right now, and I think that one of Milano or Kessel or Rodriguez could be possible. Multiple, I'd be a little more skeptical of unless other things were to happen. But right now, I think you could add one of those guys without having to do many cap gymnastics. Brooks says, I believe they add Kessel, Pat Kane, or possibly even better. Oof. That'd be something else. If it was better than a Pat Kane trade, that'd be very interesting. The Kane thing's interesting. I don't know if it's going to be Calgary or not, but that's a super interesting one. As we continue along on Flames Nation Live, it's Steinberg along with you. Still lots of time for your questions and comments on the live chat if you're with us live. This segment of Flames Nation Live brought to you by our friends at Montana's. Get Montana's messy this summer because Montana's legendary all-you-can-eat ribs promotion on now every day, 7 days a week until summer comes to an end. Montana's is the barbecue expert in Canada. They smoke their ribs in-house every day. They sauce them up. They fire that grill up to order. Warm atmospheres. Be yourself. No judgment. They're all about a fun, friendly experience. Check them out wherever there's a Montana's close to you. Take them up on their all-you-can-eat ribs. And when you're there, use that hashtag #GetMontana'sMessy, and you could win weekly prizes. One more time, #GetMontana'sMessy is the hashtag. Go take advantage of all-you-can-eat ribs every day, all summer long until the end of the summer. What else we got in the live chat right now? This guy says, looking forward to the Oilers doing donuts around the Flames. I really doubt that. I do. I don't think that. I don't think one team is significantly better than the other, especially in the regular season. And this is clearly coming from an Oilers fan. And fill your boots. Come on a Flames talk. Come on a Flames Nation Live and troll. That's all you can do. That all you want. It's your time that you're wasting. But I don't think there's going to be a significant difference between the two teams in the regular season. And if they meet again in the playoffs, the addition of Kadri, who did a pretty damn good job against the Oilers in the Western Conference Final, specifically against that number 97 guy, I think adds to how close a Battle of Alberta could be if they meet again in the playoffs. This says Flames have too many D from Ryan. They've got to trade at least one. They've got to bring Nylander home. Nylander was born here in Calgary, although is a Swedish citizen. But yeah, he was born here when Michael was playing as a member of the Calgary Flames. Doug says Kessel would be a good signing, great on the power play. JJ wonders whether, I think he's talking about Clayton Keller in Arizona. I doubt he's an option, but who knows? That'd have to be a pretty significant trade. What else we got here? JF says, with all those moves this summer, I think it's time for a captain. My vote goes to Backlund, the only remaining Flames, flame of like forever. I could see it being. Look, I think there's like 4, 5, 6 guys that you could put in as captain. Backlund being one of them, Lindholm being one of them, hell, Huberdeau is one of them, Tanev. Those would be the 4, Mangiapane. Those would be the 4 or 5 guys that jump off the page to me as captain guys right now. Kyle asks, who would the Flames get back for Milan Lucic? I don't think they're getting a massive return for Lucic, but I do think that they could trade him without having to give up a significant sweetener. Like, they had to give up a big-time sweetener to move Monahan, right? I don't know if they'll have to do that for Lucic the same way, because I do think there's been some interest in Lucic this summer. JP says, how about this for a trade route? What do people think about connecting? Maybe throw Dubé, Valimaki a pick, maybe include Hanifin and add Sanheim in return. I I mean, I have no idea what Philadelphia is thinking. I've liked Konechny for a long time. I think he's a nice middle six option. He's a winger. If he were to be available, I think it'd be a good pickup. Ryan says Milano would be a good ad, but he's from New York. People from there don't like Calgary for some reason. Another Ryan asked, do you think Phil Kessel could fit in with Daryl's coaching style? I mean, he's done good work with a lot of quote-unquote one-dimensional players before. Whether, look what he did with Johnny Gaudreau. He loved Marian Gaborik when he was in Los Angeles. So I don't think it's completely out of the question. Brooke says the biggest prize would be David Pastrnak. I believe it's a pipe dream, but you never know. Lucic out, Pasta in. There might have to be a significantly larger package along with Lucic to make that deal work. Henry says, let's get the season started. It's about that time, isn't it? And we're still a little ways away. So there you go. Allison says Lindholm or Backlund for the C. Like, if I were to go power rankings, and we all know how much I love Backlund, but just knowing kind of where he's positioned on this team for the next half decade or more, Lindholm to me seems like the guy that is the best fit for captain of the Calgary Flames. I really do think that he'd be a perfect fit with them, and I think he's here for the long haul. The cap might be going up right when he'd be re-signing. I think he wants to be here. I think he likes it here. And he's had the most success by far in his career as a member of the Flames. So, and I just think everything that he does on the ice is so captain-like. He's a little bit of a quieter guy. So I don't know if we're going to be talking about, Lucic as the Mark Messier type captain in the dressing room. But I mean, you've got lots of other guys for that. So, you've added a lot of players. And so I could see that absolutely being the case. I mean, again, maybe you throw the one guy I didn't mention for captain, and it's because he's so new and I'm still having trouble remembering that he's part of the team in a lot of ways. But what about Kadri as captain? I mean, that guy is a cup winner. Coleman is a cup. Like, there's lots of options for potential captain. And Kadri just committed 7 years to the Calgary Flames. So I think you could make a really good salient argument for him as well. John says they need Lucic. Got to get rid of some 10 guys on one-way contracts. I do think that is. Whether it is before the season or sometime during the season, I do think there's a possibility that we see one of the defensemen on NHL contracts move. I know there's a lot of buzz on social about Hanifin. Maybe he's one. We talked about Valimaki. Look, I think there's options out there if they need to move a defenseman at some point, whether it's before the season or once the season begins. We shall wait and see. I mean, there is the American League option, and waivers at the beginning of the season are much less of a risk than they are in season because everybody's healthy. So, slipping guys on one-way contracts and slipping guys who are waiver eligible down to the American League isn't crazy. And it's, at least in my eyes, much less of a risk than it is when you're in season. Great stuff on the live chat, everybody. Thank you so much. One more time, Flames Nation Live, brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. Go use that promo code FNLiveDD. You can hit the promo code, download the app, and create your account. If you use that promo code FNLiveDD, you'll be getting 25% off your first order and free delivery. We'll be back next week, weekly until the start of the season, and then back to twice weekly once the season and preseason get going. Thanks for jumping on with us. Thanks to everybody who stuck around, or even if you came in here and there. We'll do it again next week. For now, stay safe. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be kind to one another. It's been Flames Nation Live. I'm Pat Steinberg. Check me out on Flames Talk, Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Till next week on Flames Nation Live, I'm Pat. It's been Flames Nation Live, brought to you by DoorDash.